Q5s M11. Let's talk about your money. Spend it on this. If you've got this already, I like it. It's a great DAP. If I had a finger gun to my head, but didn't know it was a finger and thought it was a real gun because the dude was behind me said, you got to take one or the other. What a fucked up, you know what I mean? But let's just play along. I got to take one or the other. Which one am I going to take? I'm going to take this one. That's easy. That took under a minute, including the intro to this channel. Why? It's Android. I love it, but it's Android. Imagine an hourglass, you know, with the sand that goes through. Imagine a huge one that was 365 days of sand. And when that sand is done at 300... I'm going to check Google. Somebody must have one of those. A year sand thing. That would be cool. Must be quite large, actually. Or you could maybe figure that out, how to do that in a reasonable size. But I digress. In a year, my enthusiastic endorsement of this item is going to it's going to decrease. And I'm going to say, I like this. I liked it when I got it. I like it now. But you got to consider that they've got this DAP now that has and probably another DAP by the same company. And then there's all the other companies that got DAP. So there's going to be qualifiers with my rec. If someone comes in 12 months and says, what do you think about the M11? I'm thinking again, I'll say, you know what? I loved it when I got it. I still love it now. Keep in mind, and then say whatever I say. The Q5s doesn't suffer from anything like that. The Q5s is essentially a newer, I know they got the Q5, but the Q1 Mark II, are you with me, people? The Q1 Mark II might be one of the best things FiiO ever released. And it's in massive portfolio. That fucking thing, until I got rid of it through an auction, a raffle actually, I used it up until that point, and from the time that I received it. So probably the most oft-used item that I've ever had in this hobby was a FiiO Q1 Mark II. I used it so many times. I used it with so many different phones. It was absolute affordable bass switch, hardware gain. You couldn't push big headphones with it, but man, everything else sounded great. And sometimes that bass switch that's all it needed. Boom, I'm gone. And if someone came in about a week ago, whoever you are, you might see this video, and they said, what do you think about the Q1 Mark II? And I said, it's awesome. And that was like the end of the story. I didn't have to say any qualifiers because there are none. That person's going to plug the Q1 Mark II into his whatever phone he's got, the latest Android, whatever he's got, it'll be fine. I haven't had any feedback saying, you know, Q1 Mark II doesn't work with such and such. I might get that comment today, but it's never been pointed out to me. Nobody ever said that didn't work with it. I've continued to wreck it because it's small, thin, sounds really good, and it makes everything you attach to it sound great, and it doesn't age really. So in a year, of August 4th, 2020, someone comes in and says, what do you think about the Q5s? I'll say, sounds fantastic. It's going to basically be whatever you attach it to. It's a slave device. It's a slave to the Surface Pro. It's a slave to a Note 4. It's a slave to a Note 8. It is a best buddy. It is a Robin to Batman. You know what I mean? Butthead to Beavis. It's the other thing, but it's doing the hard work. But it's going to do that just as good in 12 months as it does today. The tonality of these two items is very, very close. I thought that this sounded like the WM1A. Oh, bro, whoa, with the WM1A. Hey, I'm a Sony fanboy. Open back MA900s. Bluetooth is the latest 1003 or WM1. Whatever the fuck it is, the third version. It's right behind your charging right now. I got that. EX1000s, 800 STs, XB90EXs. I'm a Sony fanboy. This sounds like a WM1A. End of fucking story. And it's got 4.4. But the WM1A was good 2 years ago, and it will be good 2 years from now because it's not based on this Android platform. So there's the difference between the two. But this sounds really good, and this sounds like this. So, and I can use an app that I love now with a really boss PEQ that I don't think I can put on this right now. Or I'm not sure, I haven't checked it, but the screen on this is bigger. It's a faster experience. Still, a Note 4 made 3 years ago, 4 years ago, is still faster than some of the faster DAPs. So this isn't going to age. This will. Everybody knows that. Here's your answer. I wrecked this item. I'll wreck it. I still wreck the Q1 Mark II, even though I've let go of it. I use it more than anything. I'll wreck this for quite a long time unless some new thing is developed. But why would I? If this is a slave device connected to your other thing, your tablet, your Surface Pro, your phone, what's the problem? It's this thing. It's this thing that's going to determine the quality of your experience. This puts out good sound. That's not going to change. This puts out good sound. It's user experience relative to what's coming next, and then next and next, which will probably, all three, what did I say, three next, that'll probably be filled up completely within 12 months. The Pro is going to be, that's the first next, and that's coming out a month or two, and then let's couple. Do you think 2 more will come in a year? I think it will. There you go. So Bluetooth pairing with the Sony's was not a problem. LDAC was very, very, very easy, smooth. Connecting this to the computer, USB DAC, absolutely no problem. Very, very, very smooth. Connecting to the 4, to the 8, very smooth, no problem. No hiccups, no problems. Does everything it's supposed to do. In a year, someone says, should I get the new one or should I get this? What's the difference? Are you connecting it to your... And especially since it's got the changeable module still. If you're connecting it to your phone, who knows what the hell they're going to have in a year. This will go with it. There's no reason really why it won't. This is a different story. But you know that story, so I don't need to explain it to you. So in under 10 minutes, I just said that this sounds pretty much like this. And I think they're using the same chips, which would explain a lot. And the differences are really, really, really small anyway, and mostly dependent on the transducers in or on your ear. This will age. They always do. This one will not. And under 10 minutes, I just told you that the Q5s is the superior purchase over the M11. I like this a lot. I wreck it because of it and because of what the competition is charging. So this is an easy wreck today. In 1 year, will it be as easy? No, but that's a kind of a given. Come back in a year, this tune will sound exactly like I predict it will. So if you don't want to be on that endless cycle, get this. If you don't mind and you enjoy that whole bye-bye money, then indeed proceed with what you're doing right now. I've got both of them. I'm living the life. Life is good. But again, that finger gun to my head, hey, what's with the violence with me? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, 2 finger guns to my head with a guy with like a really deep voice telling me my brain's about to exit my skull unless I pick one or the other, and without thinking about how fucked up that situation would be, like why does this guy want this? I would drop the M11. Like, there you go, man. Take that thing. I want this one. I'm gonna figure out how to do a picking thing without violence and fake guns and shit. I'm gonna grow up someday. I've been swimming for 2 days, man, and got water in my ears, but the same water in the ears was listening to both of these devices. So any effect that had influenced both of these. I just thought that this did everything, no problem. Does this does everything pretty much no problem too, but that's not going to be the case in a while. Relative to its competition, this should be fine. And if you're going to ask me in the comments, do you still wreck the Q1 Mark II? You're fucking damn right I do. It's thinner than the phone. It's black. It sounds fantastic. So if you got the Q1 Mark II and you're thinking, is this a big upgrade sonic-wise? No. Is it possible to OCD and find details from this that you can't get from the Q1 Mark II? I fucking doubt that. I think it's all placebo bullshit. I have OCD. I don't listen to music. Sometimes I listen to moments in music, and when I do that, Pink Floyd, right on fucking time. On the Run. That's not the track, but that's one of the fucking albums that I used to do my OCD tripping. Is there something I could hear on this that the Q1 Mark II won't pick up? I doubt it. I doubt it a lot. I still wreck the Q1 Mark II tremendously. I think it's more powerful. It's got the changeable amp. It's got 4.4. That's huge to me now. I'm really at the 4.4. There's that difference from 2.5. It's just bigger and stronger, and I've recabled most of my stuff to it, so it's a convenience for me. But convenience is a big thing too. And I'm out, and that was under 15 minutes. I will be doing a full review for this. In the meantime, if you got your money and you're like, I'd go for that one. And I'm out.
Shows live on stage with hoes yelling my name. To be precise, ripping mics